the Fire and Ice Flower, two power-ups that appear in many games in the Mario franchise. Obtaining one transforms the player into their ice or fire form, allowing them to throw fireballs or ice balls. But what if you got hit by one of them in real life? How much damage would it do, and would you even survive? Well, let's have a look at these power-ups to see what they can actually do. First up, the fire version. How does this power-up work? Well, Mario gets the fire flower, and now he can shoot fireballs. It's that easy. So we will have to start by looking at two things. First, how big is the fireball? And second, what's the color? If we look at the game, then we can see that the fireball is about as big as Mario's fist. So that's actually quite big. But I have to say, Mario is quite small, as we have seen in the new Mario game where he runs through a city with normal humans. But if you compare the size of Mario's hand to the people of New Donk City, you can see that it's huge. So the fireball is bigger than the average hand of a human, which is quite impressive. Now for the fireball. As we can see, the fire is overall red or yellow. But how hot would that fire be? What kind of damage can it do? Well, the color overall is very similar to a candle fire or Bunsen burner, this thing, on its low setting. So the heat of this flame is between 1000 and 1300 degrees Celsius, which for you Americans out there is 1800 to 2400 degrees Fahrenheit. Alright, now that we know the temperature, we need to find out how much damage this can do to a human being. Would it be enough to kill you, or at least create a severe wound? Well, actually, it would be devastating. Since research shows that exposure to 68 degrees Celsius or 155 degrees Fahrenheit for only 1 second already creates a 3rd degree burn, and that's an adult. For a kid, this is 0.27 seconds, and Mario's fireball is around 13 times hotter than this. So that's why it would be extremely painful. But would it be enough to straight up kill you? Well, this attack would leave you with huge 4th degree burns and 3rd degree burns, which are the worst ones. A severe burn can be a seriously devastating injury, not only physically, but also emotionally. People with severe burn wounds may be left with the loss of certain physical abilities, including loss of limbs, disfigurement, loss of mobility, scarring, and reoccurring infections because the burnt skin has decreased ability to fight it. In addition, severe burns can penetrate deep skin layers, causing muscle or tissue damage that may affect every system of the body. Burns can also cause emotional problems such as depression, nightmares, or flashbacks from the traumatizing event. Can you even imagine? Nightmares about Mario? So overall, this would have horrible effects. And if Mario hits you in the chest with this fireball and you don't get any medical help, you're dead for sure. But it gets even worse. As you can see in the game, when the fireball hits an enemy, they some sort of explode. And this creates another problem: spontaneous combustion. This occurs when an object or person bursts into flame from a chemical reaction within, apparently without being ignited by an external heat source. But in this case, Mario ignites the person, and overall clothing burns pretty good, that's for sure. So if you wouldn't die from the actual fireball, then spontaneous combustion will certainly end you. You will just burn to death until there's nothing left. Now for the ice flower. What would this do to a human being? Well, this ice ball is magical, and it can be used as a projectile which is capable of freezing enemies. Now as you can see in the game, it's really made of ice, since it breaks if it hits the wall or the ground. But when it does this, we also see something else, some sort of white gas. So, is there something inside of it? Well, yes, and most of you would think it's liquid nitrogen, but this wouldn't actually kill you. This stuff is famous for being one of the world's coldest substances, freezing and shattering anything it comes into contact with. But would this kill you? Well, surprisingly enough, no. This is because of the light and frost effect. If a liquid comes into contact with something much hotter than itself, it forms an insulating layer of vapor. This prevents the liquid from immediately boiling. This vapor layer provides short-term protection for your skin against the dangerously cold liquid nitrogen. However, don't ever try this at home, since it can also go wrong. And that stuff is minus 195 degrees Celsius or minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. So, please don't.
No! None of that!
But this means that the stuff inside the ice ball is most likely magic, and not something we can find on Earth, because it just doesn't work like that. Would it kill you? Yes. As you can see, it instantly turns you into a block of ice, so you would certainly freeze to death. Maybe it turns the water in the air around you into ice and freezes you in that way. It's like an ice coffin, and over time you would die of the cold. Or maybe it completely traps you and you can't breathe properly, and you just suffocate. But I'm not really sure of this. But which one is more painful then? The fireball or the ice ball? Well, when freezing to death, your body becomes completely numb. You become delusional, and finally you will pass out before you die. But it's going to take a while unless it's freakishly cold. The coolest weather ever measured was -128 degrees Fahrenheit, and you won't even last 15 minutes without proper equipment. When you burn alive, you are in one of the worst pains possible. Melting flesh, burning nerve endings, and your airways take in flames. Unless you pass out from the pain, you will suffer for a little while. So both are horrible and would end you quite easily. But overall, the fire death is the more painful one. So yeah, Mario's power-ups are quite painful, and both would be a horrible experience. But luckily enough, we don't live in the Mushroom Kingdom. So no worries, we are fine. I hope. Did you enjoy this new type of video? I wanted to try something different than just theories and do a cool what-if scenario type thing. If all of you like it, I would like to do more of these and also longer ones about all kinds of lore things as well. For example, what if Bowser won? So vote in the poll up top to tell me what you think of these types of videos and if I should do more. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a comment and leave a like, I would appreciate it a lot. And if you want to watch more, click the annotations on the screen. And what about subscribing? I heard that's like cool and fun and you get like updates and stuff. Might want to try that out.